This is Heidi with Critters for Corn, and I'm going to do a single crochet video now. There are a lot of crochet stitches, but you're probably going to want to start with a single crochet. It's the most basic for building up blankets, rags, pretty much anything. If you want to go a little more basic, there is a slip stitch, but you're going to make things that are much too tight for that, and I find that the tightness of it, even though it is a simpler stitch, is actually going to deter you in the long run from creating a good piece. It's probably going to make your work pull a little bit too close, and it's going to make inserting the hook hard. Alright, so here we go. And this is my very non-technical video. I don't have a tripod, I'm just doing this by hand. All right. Start with a chain, and I'm hoping you know how to do that. Yarn over, pull through. We're doing a very, very short chain here, just a short project. You want to go one longer than you want your chain to be. So if you want your project to be 20 chain long, do 21. And then the hook goes into the second from the loop. So here we have the one on the hook, the first from the hook, the second from the hook, and that's your sweet spot there. Right through. Pull one through. Two on the hook, pull through both. Let's do that again. Through the chain, one over, pull through, two on the hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Let's do that again. Loop, yarn over, pull through, and one over. Now if you'll remember, or if you watched my chain video, you know that for that you keep the hook hand steady and move the yarn hand. This one, you're going to need to move the hook hand just through the poke, because it's not really practical to try to guide this on like that. You stick with the hook, but then you still keep it basically using the yarn hand to guide. So yarn over using the yarn hand. I like to use my middle finger as kind of the guide for the yarn. And then hook. I'm sure there's other methods for this. If you're a lefty, it's going to be kind of a mirror image. I've never actually successfully taught a lefty how to do this. There are books and internet instructions though, if you'd like. And I'd suggest looking into that specifically for left-handed, because the technique is going to be different. Not that you couldn't learn from my video, but it's going to be a whole nother learning curve. Okay, when you get to the end, last hook, you're going to want to chain one and turn over. Now this is some place that I kind of differ for some people. Some people like to reverse, and but I like to just flip the yarn over. I think it's easier, and to me it gives kind of a variant to the look. So yarn over, pull through, two on the hook, yarn over, pull through. Where most people tend to screw up on crocheting is just in the count. They'll skip a stitch, they'll have their stitches too tight so they can't actually see the stitch to insert. So the hardest thing to learn is just to be consistent in the way your stitches are, because if you're like pulling really tight on this thread and you go through and you pull really tight, you're going to end up with a tight little stitch that's smaller than the others, and your piece is going to start shrinking, and that's just not good. You want to keep it even and a little bit loose, so there's a little bit of give. Okay, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So like I said, where I find beginners mostly mixing up is miscounting and skipping stitches. So it might be good as you're going to actually keep a count in your head, which can actually be kind of soothing and almost hypnotic way. So as you're counting, you'd be saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you get to the end of the row and you don't have the full 20 or 40 or 30 or however many stitches it is, don't be afraid, go back, yarn unravels, just give it a pull gently and steadily. If you go too fast, you might get a knot. And start over and recount and make sure that it's right, because if you start losing, skipping, or adding in stitches, your piece is going to start looking curvy. And curves are good for women, not so good for crochet projects. Okay, and that's it. Bye-bye.